watching ABC4 News, celebrating 75 years.
Helping your children deal with grief is so important, but for parents, knowing how to help them build healthy coping skills really can seem overwhelming, especially if you're grieving all at the same time. So joining us now to talk about this tough topic, Abby Crouse, the Clinical Director for the Family Support Centers of Utah. Thank you for being here, Abby.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, such an important topic because we cannot avoid those moments in life that we'll just have to deal with grief. Tell us, what does it mean to, or what do we need to understand about children's grief?
Yeah, I think one thing to understand is just like all of us, children are going to grieve in their own unique ways. But something specific is to understand is that children are going to grieve very differently than adults. I mean, there might be, depending upon their developmental age, they might not understand the concept of death. A lot of times they might not understand the finality of death, right? That may be that their loved one, their pet, is not going to come back. And so that's where we need to be there to kind of help navigate them through the kind of ever-changing emotions that might come with it for them.
Okay, so let's say we are a family who clearly we had this something happen in the family where there is grieving going on. What are some of the signs that that child's grieving?
Yeah, I think there can be a lot of things. I think one is a lot of asking of questions. I think that's just a clear indication. Other things can be is if a child's maybe their behaviors are increasing, they're seemingly confused, they're more agitated. That could be that they're feeling just like a lot of pent up stuff. Could be isolation, just like any of us. These are just going to be signs. And I think regardless of signs, just knowing that somebody maybe passed away or a pet passed away is just reason enough for us to be able to go in and to have these discussions with kids.
Okay, Abby, so that leads into, you need to have this discussion. What do you say? How do you say it?
Yes. So one thing to consider is always having somebody who's trusted to try to tell them. I understand that we're probably going through our own grieving maybe in this process too, but hearing it from us versus somebody who they don't trust or in a situation that they're not sure of can be confusing. Other things to consider is to allow them to ask and kind of lead questions. Like I said, is what's concerning for kids is going to be different than us. So having them ask questions and us answer is going to get those things kind of secured. Also, always try to remember to try to express feelings. I think if we're not expressing our own feelings or we're stifling grief or we're asking them to, it makes it seem like that sadness is bad, and that's not. It's a normal thing. And I think just lastly in that piece is also try to help memorialize the person, the pet, whoever it is that passed away, because that is part of the healing process. Even if it's speaking their name, that kind of takes away this taboo that it's not okay for us to feel these ways or for us to feel sad that they're gone.
Right. Oh, it's so important that we really are aware as parents of how we are going to have that conversation when in life that conversation definitely comes up. Is there anything else we need to make sure that we touch on before we wrap up today?
I think the last thing is just make sure to take care of yourselves. I think that, if we're going through the same grief, make sure to get your own supports. That is not just helpful for you because you can't care for others, you can't care for yourself, but also then it helps model that for your kiddos to know that supports is as helpful, it's good, and it helps us heal.
Oh, thank you so much, Abby, for your time here today. Where can people go for more information?
You can reach us at familysupportcenter.org.
Okay, and we will have this linked onto our website as well. Familysupportcenter.org is their website. We'll have this on abc4.com as well if you can't jot that down at this point. Thank you so much again, Abby. We'll send it over to you, Rich.